Alright, today we're going to be taking a look at a hard Leetcode SQL problem. I haven't picked it yet, but I guess we'll be picking this one here called trips and users. It only has an acceptance rate of 36.8% and it's classified as hard. I haven't seen it before, so I'm going into it blind just as you guys are, and I'll try to explain my thought process to the best of my ability, even though it might not make any sense, but we'll see. And let's see if we can even complete this Leetcode, because there's no guarantees that my stupid brain will be able to. But anyway, let's open this guy up and let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this better. So let's see, trips and users. So first I'll just generally what I'll do, I'll just try to see what the expected output is. So they want some sort of day and then a cancellation rate. I'm assuming this is like rounded to 2 decimals or something. And now we can go and actually see what the assignment is. So there's a trip table where there's a client ID. I don't know what the client is. Driver, someone is driving. City ID, and status is either completed, cancelled by driver, or cancelled by client. Okay, so this is some sort of Uber thing, I'm assuming. So you have like a bunch of Uber trips where the customer, this is like a customer, then this is the guy driving, and this is the city, and this is what happened, and this is when the trip was sort of requested by the client. So, okay, users, so I'm guessing this client ID is referring to the user, and band is an enum of yes or no, so basically a boolean. And okay, so it can be either client, driver, or partner. Cancellation rate is computed by dividing the number of cancelled by client or driver requests with unbanned users by the total number of requests with unbanned users on that day. Okay. So I'll just copy and paste this stuff here. Cancellation rate of requests between these 3 days and round to 2 decimal points. And I'll just write, remember both client and driver need not to be banned for this account. All right. So there's a bunch of trips here. Let's just make this a bit wider. So bunch of trips, bunch of blah blahs, and you want per day. So you want to, the immediate thing that comes to mind is that we want to group by this day, and then we want to make some sort of aggregation function that return this cancellation rate. So what I'll generally do is I'll just write a select where I imagine what the result will be. So I will say select day. Okay, I guess trip day, and then cancellation rate from, and then just figure something out. So we only have trips and users to concern ourselves with, and so we want to do basically we want to select from trips. Let's call it trips T, and this is actually T request at is apparently the date. What did I want this returned as? Day, so that will be as day, and then something as cancellation rate as what? As cancellation rate. Okay, now we just need to figure out basically like how to get to this. So what's the requirements? So first of all, the users cannot be banned. So we need to join this with the users table, users u on. I'll just make this a bit bigger again. And we need to join it on. So it's either where users ID is T client ID or users ID is driver ID, where T client ID, okay, actually it needs to be where user band equals null. So they can't be banned, but they both need to be not banned. So actually we probably need to join twice. So let's do users D for the drivers on D users ID equals T driver ID. Join users C on C users ID is T client ID. Let's condense this a bit because the text is so big that I want to put it on less lines. Trips D, join users D on, so this D is for driver, and then another join on client. And then we can put a where clause here to assert that D, first off, I guess, D role needs to be driver. We don't want any clients driving, I guess. And C role is client, and D band is no, and C band is no. Okay, so now we have all the trips where you have an actual driver and an actual client, and they're both not banned. So that much is now established. Then I already forgot what we needed to do. So we need to, oh yeah, cancellation rate. So we wanna group this by the day, right? So when you get the results, we group by the actual trips request at, right? So we're grouping by this, and then we need to calculate the cancellation rate. And what we can do here is, so what's the definition of cancellation rate again? Cancelled by client or driver. So it's either cancelled by driver or cancelled by client. And then divided by all of the trips where this is valid, where these conditions are valid. So Okay, maybe we can try to put this in a kind of a CTE. This is a common table expression, so we can use this as a helper table for our final sort of final whatchamacallit, the final result that we're gonna be doing. So we select T everything from trips T, and this is gonna be, let's say, valid trips as this guy. Let's get rid of these comments now. So valid trips is gonna be this CTE, and then we want to select, first off, we want to select VT request at, so that's the date. We don't want to group on this valid trips yet. We're going to group here. So group by VT request at. And the cancellation rate is going to be, we're going to do sum case when. Let's think about this. So either of the canceled ones is case when status, case when VT status equals completed. So this is not canceled. Then 0, we don't count that one. And else we count it as a cancellation. So this is now our sum of the whatchamacallit, some of the canceled trips for either reason. And we want to divide this by all of the trips. And we can do, I guess we can just do count, because we're grouping by request at, so we can count, group by, let's say, VT ID. So this is the sum, so the number of not completed, which means canceled trips, divided by all of the trips per group. And finally, we also want to round this to 2 decimals. So this is going to be 2. And this is going to be our cancellation rate. I'm scared because of this coloring. What's happening? Do I have the right amount of parentheses? Oh yeah, I need to do from. This syntax highlighting is really freaking me out right now. So this is going to be valid trips VT, and also the day needs to be, so where VT request at between, and then what's the dates? What's my dates, bro? Where is it? It's the wrong decade. So these 3 days. Okay. And we probably have like a million syntax errors, but we'll get to those. Wrong answer. So, oh, they're ordered wrong, but the answer is correct, apparently. So we just need to order them. Order by VT request at descending. So first day first. No. Oh, it's ascending. Ah, Jesus. Wrong answer. What? Bro. Bruh. Oh, I also need to select this as day. If this doesn't pass now, I'm gonna do things. All right, we get a result. Looking good. Let's look at the other test cases. Come on, come on, come on, bro. Yeah, boy. And we beat 83% of users on runtime and 100% on memory, because apparently we didn't use any memory. So it's pretty hard to beat. Yeah, so I guess the beef of this was to kind of figure out, there's probably other ways to do this, but like joining on the users table twice to enforce that both of them are banned and they have the right roles and so on is probably pretty important. And then figuring out this kind of something where to get the number of canceled trips and so on. But otherwise, I don't know if I would classify this as a hard problem. I mean, you know, I've struggled with medium problems that are much harder than this, but you know, it's a subjective thing, bro. Anyway, yeah, you know, subscribe if you enjoyed this for some reason, and catch you later, bros and brosketties and other genders and so on.